aha Ghanatube so modofo snow ma science what na say ensem ekoso ewo omega ni wonsa ebeka na yebo ewra ensem ni dia abusiafo chese ensem ekoso no dos nti we mensem na se mennom enkwan no enja fufuo ne ba kotie ensem ekoso na se me ba na matwaso edi amamo.
TUC is requesting the president to put a halt to this thing that has been happening. Your thoughts on and take on this?
Good morning to good morning to our viewers. We discussed this when the release was the chief of staff made that gave that directive. The TUC couldn't have released a better statement. Yesterday someone was saying, oh, they should have released it earlier to nip it in the bud. But better late than never. They couldn't have released a better statement. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't. These are Ghanaians who have been given employment. These are youth of Ghana. These are people with families. And the president then candidate promised a Ghana for all. So is this the Ghana for all? That by virtue of the fact that you were employed by a previous administration, you automatically become part of that administration, even though you've gone through all the processes to get employment to take all these things affect people's mental health. All these things break down families. It comes with its own social impacts, and it needs to be looked at carefully. Even if we want to go by the directive, it said after 7th December. I've cited letters of people who were given employment in September. Being
as far back as September.
Yes, being laid off. You know, and like I said, when Felix was granting an interview, and he was asked, what law are you referring to? He couldn't mention one single law that we're using to implement or revoke these appointments. And even in his own submission, he said that some of them, most of them, in some institutions, why won't you do due diligence? Definitely, if someone has been employed against the procedures or the processes required, obviously, that person shouldn't be there. But these are people who've gone through the processes. And these processes are not events. They are not a one-day thing. You just don't go submit your application, submit your CV, and you are called to come and work. For public service institutions, you need a technical clearance. You need to go through the whole processes of interview and other requirements of the institution. Wait for a financial clearance to be issued before you are given appointment letters. Because definitely, if there's no financial clearance, you can't be, if they put you on, how are they going to pay you? So these things take time. And we need, in the name of having a Ghana for all and letting every Ghanaian feel like they are in their country and they are safe. And they have the right to also benefit from employment and other opportunities that the country offers. I think the TUC couldn't have issued a better letter. And this is something that if the new administration believes that they are here for Ghanaians, believe that they are here to make this nation better, they should heed to the score.
The Minister of State in charge of government communication and spokesperson for the president had said earlier that, and I'm going to quote him from a story on citynewsroom.com published on the 19th of February. He said, let me also put it on record that this action has been taken not because of a perception or belief that that's the people who have been, whose jobs have been revoked, were MPP. Is because we know that the recruitment processes were attended by irregularities. Okay, Then he goes on to say, again I quote, in due course, government will do recruitment and it will be open to all Ghanaians irrespective of political coloration. Indeed, your party identity will not be required. You will not be asked to show whether you are MPP or NDC when that comes, but we will do it in a regular manner, he explained. Now, the final quote here says, so even those who have had their employment revoked will still have the opportunity to reapply and go through due process. So unlike what some suggestions have been made that there's going to be a relook at the processes they went through, and if yours is found to be free of challenges, you may be reinstated. This is what he's saying here, that there'll be no reinstatement. Everybody is going to have to reapply and go through the process again.
And this is coming from the spokesperson
yes.
of a government that says they are coming to cut costs.
Okay, all right.
It doesn't just sound ridiculous that state funds have been used to conduct a process, right? People have been given appointment letters. You claim they didn't go through due process. That you haven't been able to even point out what those breaches were. You are now going to do away with all those things. Because for some of these interview panels, when you need an expert to sit on the panels, you pay the person an allowance from state funds. So you are coming to cut costs and you want to start every process. And you see, cutting costs is not only about the financial aspect, time wastage. Whatever contribution these staff would have been making to the efficiency or effectiveness of the institutions they've been employed, we are not going to feel it. They are sitting at home. Apart from that, whatever mental situation they are going to go through is going to affect our health bill. Because they'll seek health care. Whatever social impact, whatever deviant behavior they are going to go in. You spoke about drug abuse and all that.
Yeah.
Substance abuse and all that. Everybody and how they react to some of these depressing situations. And they haven't thought through all those things. For a government that said they were coming for, and it's it's so amazing that for a candidate, now president, who stood on a platform and said that he's not going to behave like the previous administration and that nobody will be sacked when he becomes president, his chief of staff issues such a blanket directive, and this is the excuse the spokesperson is giving, then we have a long way to go.
All right, I will. Yes.
Ľahocking and some no apa comment section. Train of our comments ebra na meje bra akenka nseni na e dia mo one by one. So reply or so me reply e dia amount fe ebusan for ha eye Ghanatube so open sen etie dia ebusan for now de wani atwum unsubscribe ya subscribe na hit notification bell no for more and quick updates. Both of us know you need to see ade ebusan for my crown.